Welcome to the Finance Magnates Blockchain Podcast. I'm Rachel McIntosh. Over the past year, MyEtherWallet has grown from a passion project into a full-fledged firm. The wallet's simple and efficient user interface is often one of the first things that Ethereum-based token holders interact with within the crypto space. Last week, MyEtherWallet was the target of an elaborate phishing scheme that resulted in the theft of roughly 216 ETH. Kosala Hemachandra, the founder of MyEtherWallet, spoke with finance magnates about the phishing attack, cybersecurity in the crypto space, and the future of MyEtherWallet. Kosala, so can you start by telling us just kind of in general terms, for people who might not have a lot of technical knowledge about cryptocurrency, what is MyEtherWallet?
Yeah, MyEtherWallet is an interface for you to for users to have access to Ethereum blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it as a gateway. So you can, if you don't use a web service something similar to MyEtherWallet, then you have to download the whole blockchain to your computer, which is huge in size-wise. So you have to wait at least 6-7 hours to get the whole blockchain downloaded to your computer, and then you have to set up a wallet, and then you have to go through all these technicalities to do a simple transaction. MyEtherWallet mainly focuses on simplicity. We want to make it simple for users to send transactions, receive transactions, and interact with the blockchain without going through the super complicated technicalities.
Gotcha. And how can MyEtherWallet be accessed?
You can go to myetherwallet.com.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure you always look for the SSL certificate. It is a green bar SSL certificate usually on the left side of the URL, which should say MyEtherWallet Inc. INC, and then in square bracket it should say US. That's one way to make sure you are on the original, genuine MyEtherWallet website. The other way you can use MyEtherWallet is by using it offline. You can go to our GitHub repo and then releases. We do releases once every 3 days or 4 days. It depends on what kind of features we added. But you can go download the latest version from there, and then simply open it, and then you'll have an offline version of MyEtherWallet.
Okay. Ooh, siren in the background there. So can you tell us a little bit about the history of MyEtherWallet and your involvement? What led you to create it?
Yeah, for sure. So you have to go all the way back to when Ethereum first launched, even before that. When Ethereum released the yellow paper,
mm-hmm.
That's when I first initially started having interest on Ethereum project. And then I read through the yellow paper. I still don't understand most of it, but I was able to understand back then that, okay, this is going to be changing the world. And then I was super intrigued by the whole technology.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to make sure, I'm part of it, and then I can, do something about this, or at least utilize technology and come up with a way to more and more make it available for broader audience.
Mm-hmm.
But then that was initially that's when I wrote my first smart contract for testing purposes, and people can send a simple transaction to the faucet, and then they'll receive test ETH for testing purpose. That was my smart contract. And after they launched the first mainnet, when actually Ethereum started having value, that's when all these newcomers and all people with little bit of blockchain knowledge started coming into this world. And a lot of people had issues because back then Ethereum Foundation only had so if you're only familiar with command line, those are the people who can interact with the Ethereum blockchain. And a lot of people had issues doing simple tasks such as creating a wallet or sending a transaction and all those things. And that's when I first started thinking about, hey, can I do something about this? Can I help these people who are having these issues? And that's when I thought of putting together a small user interface. And then I made it open source since the beginning because I knew people will be skeptic about it, and then people will ask questions, hey, how can we trust you? how can we make sure you're not stealing our private keys? That's the main reason why I wanted to keep it open source since the beginning. And once I made it public, everyone started talking and wanted to say, obviously there are people who I totally understand that part, because if I was one of them, I would be questioning about it. Like, it's a legit question. You cannot trust in the internet, and people should be questioning. If your gut says not to do it, you shouldn't do it. And then eventually gain their trust and make sure, proving GitHub. And after a week or so, people started to, start trusting it. And that's when they started asking for more features. I am not a designer, so it took me longer to move a button to another. Then actually, that's when talking with Taylor, my band, I do want to come join this amazing community and help us build something, super crazy. And she was super intrigued by it as well, and then she wanted to join, and then we started developing. Our partnership grew from that point onwards, and because she usually does the design, and then it's super easy for me to go ahead and do the back end work. And around this time, I was still going to college, and I had a full-time job, so full-time school, full-time job, and this is MyEtherWallet was a hobby project that I was working on. And now I graduated, and MyEtherWallet turned out within the past 8 to 10 months, it grew exponentially. So we are getting a huge number of users every single day, and it changed from a hobby project to a full-blown company within a year or so.
Wow.
So I'm super excited about it. I'm excited about the future, and we have a lot of new features coming out, and this is amazing experience for me.
So can you tell us about some of those new features that are planned for MyEtherWallet?
Yeah, so mainly, yes, the Tuesday's event was another good example of why we need these features, because mainly we have two main issues as of right now. One is our UI is not user-friendly, because initially when we started designing it, we designed it for technical people, because the people who came into this Ethereum world was somewhat technical. They knew how to, go through the website and then use the features we let them have and all those things we have for them. And but now most of the users we are getting are newcomers. Like a lot of newcomers are coming into this world, and it's totally understandable because we need mass adaptation. And that's what's starting to happen now. And we have to make a better UI for people to make it simple for all these newcomers to use it. And so that's the UI, wireframes, all those are done. So we are starting the development as we speak. And so maybe I'm hoping within the next 2 to 3 months, we'll have that done, and then you can, everyone will have a chance to start beta testing and all those things. Yeah, so the next big issue is this is why we need this. The Tuesdays event is a great example of why we need a service like this. The next issue is actually phishing attacks. We are having enormous amount of phishing attacks every single day. There are so many domain names which are super similar to MyEtherWallet, and last time I checked, it's I think 6,500 plus domain names that are similar to MyEtherWallet. And the more I talk to security researchers, they're amazed by it. They can't even believe a single domain is getting this many phishing attacks. But so that's our main issue, and the Tuesdays event was another great example of how people try to maliciously steal users' funds. And this is why we are making, think of it as a hardware wallet, but it's on your phone, and it is free to download, and you can use it, and it'll create a peer-to-peer connection with MyEtherWallet and your phone, which will be secured and encrypted. and your private key will never leave your phone or will never be exposed to a browser. And you will have this two-factor aspect of it, where whenever you try to send a transaction, it'll prompt on your phone. It'll have a pop-up push notification or some kind of notification on your phone that asks you, hey, do you want to send this transaction? It is going to send to this address, this much, or this many tokens. And then you'll have the ability to either decline or accept. And obviously, if you're on a malicious site, the app we are trying to come up with a plan to make it not available, make it not work for any malicious sites. It is a little complicated because we also have to think about decentralizing, and we cannot use servers in the back end. And that's why it makes it complicated. But anyway, we are trying to come up with a plan to make it not available for malicious sites. But even in this, even if someone somehow figured out how to make it work for a malicious site, users will still have that second option where they can decline that transaction. Without them actually physically accepting a transaction, it will never go through.
Okay.
And, so that's why this is, so every single time no one can steal your funds, because if you don't accept that transaction, it'll never leave the phone, or it'll never get signed, and it'll never be broadcasted.
Okay, gotcha. So something like what happened on Tuesday couldn't happen, really.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. This is something we started working on approximately a month ago. So in another month or so, we should have an alpha version up and running where people can download and start testing. But I think it will only select certain groups of people for alpha testing. But after that, for beta testing, it'll be open for public.
Okay, so speaking of this thing that happened on Tuesday, can you just give us kind of an overview of what the situation was?
Yeah, so this is pretty much someone, in layman terms, this is someone broke the internet to phish MyEtherWallet. Because it goes all the way down to the core structure of internet and how it works, and someone was able to infiltrate or maliciously or hack that core system in order to change the routes. So for an example, think of it as hypothetically, think of it as a universe where, and there's an earth in that universe, and everyone is honest. And so no one sells lies. And there's a delivery person who wants to deliver a package to, let's say, 123 Muse Street, Los Angeles, California, USA. And that person is coming from Australia. So in the ideal world, right, where everyone's honest, the delivery person in Australia will ask someone, "Hey, how do I get to USA?" And that person will tell you, "Hey, go to this airport, take the plane, and then go to USA." And then when they come to USA, they'll ask, "Hey, how do I go to California?" And then the honest person will say, "Hey, go take this airport, or go here, or drive here, and then you get to California," and then so on. And then that person in California can say how to get to Los Angeles, and then eventually this package will be delivered to 123 Muse Street, Los Angeles. But what happened on Tuesday was that the person who was in California wasn't honest. He gave us a route, or he told the delivery person, "Hey, you have to go to Russia because this address is in Russia." So the person who came to California was maliciously redirected to Russia because he thought like, since everyone's honest, because this whole system is based on an honest system. And that's the unfortunate truth about the core internet system. But so the person who was in California maliciously redirected the delivery guy to go to Russia to deliver this package, and that's what happened for 2 hours between 11 a.m. UTC and 1 p.m. I think. Yeah. So for those 2 hours, all the traffic that goes to Amazon servers were redirected to a server in Russia, and for every other website that was hosted on Amazon on those routes, didn't work except MyEtherWallet. That's the information we have as of now. But there are a lot of security researchers are looking into what exactly happened on Tuesday. They're way smarter than me, and like no idea what they'll come up with within the next 2-3 weeks, and see how we can resolve this issue and make it prevent it from happening in the future. But unfortunately, again, it's in the core system of the internet structure, and we can only mitigate and we can only make it harder for people to do things like this. But I honestly don't think there's a 100% complete fix that'll come out within, I don't know for how long, like in the foreseeable future.
Right. So at this point, are any like law enforcement officials involved? Are there any plans for investigations or anything like that?
Nothing I know as of now, but I'm talking with security researchers to make sure this is something we can go after, because this shouldn't be happening. Like, this is way bigger than MyEtherWallet. It can happen to any website out there.
Right. Okay.
So I'm pretty sure at some point in time, there will be some investigations. Someone will I can personally get involved, or someone will start an investigation on what exactly happened and how to prevent it and who are the responsible groups. But as of now, I'm not aware of anything that's going on.
Okay. And are there any plans at this point to reimburse affected users, or?
We are asking, we're waiting, we're getting support tickets of affected users. But again, since we tell everyone to be more careful, because all the affected users went through a security warning when they went to myetherwallet.com, and then if they were affected, they got a big security warning saying, hey, this security certificate is invalid. Do you still want to?
Okay.
And I think it's as of now, the confirmed lost amount is around 216 ETH. I think it would have been way more for within the 2 hours, but I think most of our users were clever and they didn't continue to MyEtherWallet because of we are educating, we are doing everything we can to prevent these things from happening, and we did it for I don't know for how long, but in the past we talked to everyone. We made Twitter posts and tweets and posts and Medium posts about how to make sure you're on the original MyEtherWallet website and how to not continue if you get an SSL certificate error. But I think it's 216 ETH because a lot of people didn't continue, because a lot of people noticed, okay, there's a problem. And the people who lost ETH is due to them just continuing and unlocking their wallet. But we are gathering more information from users on exactly what happened, what they did and how it looked like and all that information. But reimbursing wise, it's not something we're planning to do because of all these things that happened. And they did get a warning. But if the community reach out to us and if they think it's our fault in a way, that's something we can look into for sure.
Okay. So what is your best advice for people who are coming into the cryptocurrency space for the first time on how to stay safe?
People who are coming into, that's a really good question. Again, the cryptocurrency space is not any different from real life. Just like there are bad people in real life, there are bad people in cryptocurrency world. So you have to listen to yourself. You already have that feeling. You have that sensors in your body that says, hey, maybe this is not trustworthy. If someone's trying to give away 100 ETH for free, some part in your body will say, hey, why would that person willing to give out 100 ETH? So listen to yourself and listen to your gut, because if it says, okay, this is suspicious, don't. There's no reason for you to continue. You can do research and you can Google it. Simple Google search on that specific domain will let you know whether it's a malicious site or not. And the other thing is that always, if you're willing to invest in an ICO, just because it sounds good doesn't just go ahead and invest, or just because the website looks good, or just because the website looks professional, or just because the people in that website sounds professional. It's not a reason for you to invest. You have to do research by yourself. You have to make sure those people are actually legit people, because there were a bunch of ICOs that happened in 2017 where people use fake photos and fake information, fake biography for the team page.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people just read through the team page of their own website and of the ICO website and just invested in it. And a lot of people lost so much money. And like 70% of the ICOs from 2017 are already failing. And this is really unfortunate. So again, like I want to emphasize that the cryptocurrency world is no different from real life. You have to take precautions. You have to listen to yourself. You have to do your own research before jumping into any website, or before investing, before unlocking your wallet, or doing anything in this world.
Right. So this is kind of looping way back earlier into the conversation, but you mentioned Taylor Monahan earlier.
Yeah.
And so Taylor has formed her own sort of company called MyCrypto. Can you tell us a little bit about her decision to leave and your relationship with her now?
Yeah, so I cannot get into details, but basically around mid 2017, we had a different perspective, a different view on how to proceed, because in June 2016, around that time frame, we realized until that point it was just me and Taylor. MyEtherWallet team was just me and her.
Yeah.
And then we realized, okay, it's not just two-person job anymore, or two-person site anymore. We have to have a team. We have to build our team. And then that's around the same time we started interviewing people and like hiring people and started building the team. But unfortunately, as we moved forward with that way, we had two different opinions or two different viewpoints on how to proceed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was one or main reason for this split. So from that point onwards, we started having different viewpoints on how MyEtherWallet should proceed until January, until mid-January, week before everyone else knew about this. I knew, unfortunately, Taylor will be leaving MyEtherWallet team.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sad, because more than losing a business partner, I was losing my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And it was both emotionally and professionally, it was a difficult situation. But
sure.
But then around the same period of time, I realized, okay, I have to build a new team. I have to continue MyEtherWallet, because it's not it's not about me and Taylor anymore, or me and MyEtherWallet team anymore. It's about the people. It's about the community.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to do it for the community when I initially started it, and that's when I started building the new team for MyEtherWallet.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole split happened, and it was a little bit noisier than I thought. But now we are back on track. Now we are back to our original vision, building MyEtherWallet for the community.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot of new, we're working on a lot of different new projects and new features, and super excited. The new team is amazing. They have really good experience in both blockchain world and like corporate structure and how a company should work and all those things as well. And I'm super excited about the future.
Good. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
So can you tell me, for my last question, where do you see MyEtherWallet in like 5 years?
Yeah, that's another really good question. MyEtherWallet in 5 years, I think we want to be the. It's not just a wallet interface. I don't want to limit MyEtherWallet to a wallet interface. We want to be the uh, educational platform / the wallet interface for people who are coming into Ethereum world. Because even right now, even today, a lot of people, it's the to-go place. Um, for whoever comes to Ethereum, for 90% or 95% of the people, the to-go place initially, the one of the main first websites they will visit is myetherwallet.com. So we have a great advantage on educating people because of that. Because if we can capture their attention, because they are new, if we can capture their attention and send them to this educational process, I think we can. It'll help the whole blockchain community, and it'll also prevent them from going and losing their funds. And it'll also educate them on how to improve and how to make a better future for everyone. So that's where I want to be in 5 years. I want to be the site that educate people at the same time let them utilize the functionalities of the blockchain.
All right. Well, Kosala, this has been such a pleasure to talk with you. And
Same here.
yeah, I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you so much.